Hello. You might hear the rain. Greetings. This will be a flow and conversation. As you follow along or watch, please remember to cultivate breath awareness by breathing is the most important part of that. As you follow along, as I go into positions, and you may too, remember to continue breathing. I've been thinking today for 24 hours about discomfort. Yesterday I had a twinge after doing movement, but it wasn't immediate. I did movement in a pond, kind of erratic, strange movements, and then I lay down for a nap, and I got up without issue, but then I had a twinge that was very uncomfortable, that kind of followed me in a strange way. And if you're having anything very uncomfortable, take a stop. Don't keep going. I definitely had to wait in whatever position was best. So I'm aware of that and aware that it could come back. Yesterday night I slept with much more stillness and much less tossing around than usual. And I just want to start thinking about breathing in the discomfort in general, because that is something that I'm thinking about right now. It's not like if you have a severe pain that you should just breathe into the discomfort and hold it. If you're having a severe pain, I recommend making yourself comfortable. And breathing gently. But breathing into the discomfort, however, is a common theme in yoga that I have heard, and in meditation. And I almost know more about it from meditation than I do from yoga, as most of my yoga comes from a knowledge standpoint, primarily leading with an emphasis on mindfulness over the physical aspects. And that's just me, because I'm a little more educated in mindfulness than in like yoga anatomy, or I've never taken a class in yoga that was, I've taken classes in yoga. I've never taken, so niche that, zilch that. I've never taken a training to be a teacher in yoga, and I just wanted to emphasize that I'm teaching yoga online, but I'm not a yoga teacher, technically certified at all. So I just want you to be aware of my limitations. I'm definitely aware of them, and so I guess I could add, don't think that I am certified. That's important to know, that I'm just somebody practicing yoga online that you can follow along with. But breathing in the discomfort. When I think of it, I think about a meditation in which you are emphasizing upon stillness, physical stillness. And you're breathing in the meditation practice, and what you end up doing is trying to keep your body perfectly motionless during the meditation. So whatever position you're in right now, if you want to go along with me, I'm going to try for a minute to be still physically, because it has to do with the subject today. You might feel a little shake in your fingers. If you're like me and you have tremors, you can just let that be. Continue breathing. You might feel impetus to move that is based more in your mood, emotion, or something that you hear outside, like thunder, might scare you and you might flinch. Or it might kind of excite you and you kind of want to get up and dance. Whatever you end up going through internally during this process, you're breathing. We're always breathing. And this is about breathing into discomfort. So, my main point here is that studies have proven, and I've read this in neuroscience books, that if you can maintain physical stillness in these times, that you build different neurological pathways, and your brain is neuroplastic, and it improves your abilities to focus and to not be impulsive in the future. So what you can focus on when you're trying to still yourself in a yoga pose or in a meditation, what you can focus upon is your breath. It's very simple. I think discomfort is present a lot to some degree. In fact, I think that it's almost impossible to avoid sometimes. Most of the time there's discomfort underlying in some level. Physical, emotional, mental. What would be another way? Spiritual? Metaphysically? I don't know exactly what I mean by that, but I think it's true. So we find our breath. It goes in and out like waves. In and out. And it is so much easier for me to find and focus upon my breath when my body is in an easy place. When my body is in comfort, mostly, I can have more breath awareness. And it's easier to find and maintain breath awareness during those times. I love this storm. I just wanted to talk about that for a minute. It's so wonderful to have some cooling rain outside. It's like pure comfort in a way. It's a wonderful thing to have. It's better to comfort. It's just like wonderful and magical and joyful. To hear the thunder. Sometimes if you hear something, even if it's off topic, you should talk about it because it's so beautiful. And that's what I think about the rain and the thunder. My dog's trying to get in, but she's been cast out. Breathe. Notice your breath and breathe. Notice your breath and breathe. At whatever pace you are breathing. If you feel discomfort at all, I do. I feel discomfort. There's a place in my back that's getting a good stretch and it's giving me a little discomfort. That's good. So I'm going to breathe into the discomfort. That's the kind of discomfort we want to breathe into. The growth potential. I just wanted to say something because it came to mind. The first time I ever heard of yoga, and I'm 43, I was a young girl, very young. I think I was 6, maybe? And there was this woman who gave me an adult's yoga book because she thought that I might like it. I was starting to explore my body, thinking I wanted to do gymnastics around that time. And she gave me this book. Her name was Mary Calhoun. She was a friend of my family. And she gave a little girl between 6 and 8, maybe 10, but not really. I don't think so. I think I was very young. She gave me an adult's yoga book. And I loved looking at it. It was interesting. I didn't read all the words. At that point, I don't think I ever thought I would read a book like that all the way through for a long time. I was an okay reader, but I wasn't going to do that at age 7. But however old I was, I read this book. And I looked at it a lot, and I learned the positions, the earliest positions that I ever learned of yoga, I taught myself. I think I learned child's pose pretty early, maybe because I knew that it was for children, I thought, but then I was wrong. I learned that it actually wasn't just for children. That was my guess of why they called it that. So, I probably learned Cobra in that book. It's interesting that people think sometimes that children shouldn't read adult books, but I think it definitely can be good to give a child a book for adults, especially if it's something that they might be interested in, because that did give me a little bit of a head start in yoga. I never have advanced my studies that much. I have a book now that is Yoga Anatomy, and that's a very difficult book for me to learn all the things in it. I'm grateful to be reading that book, but I feel like I'm not smart enough to pick everything up all at least right in one fell swoop. I have to take it in stages. I don't think I'm gonna do leg lifts because I'm being careful because of that twinge that I had yesterday. But what am I doing? Let's see here. I'm trying to think what pose we're doing. Maybe breathe into the discomfort. Okay, we'll just go back around there. So we're breathing into the discomfort together, and it doesn't have to be a great deal of discomfort. But this whole video, even if I'm not talking about breath, I hope that you are remembering breath. And the why is important. The why we breathe into discomfort, because it can sound like just a silly thing you might say, or maybe like something that yoga people say, and you might not actually be sure about yoga. I think some of my followers aren't entirely sure about yoga, and so I just wanted to talk about that because it's a very basic yoga idea that I think it's important to consider in a whole video, in a whole class. Breathing into discomfort. I'm going to try to do new positions in my next video. This one I'm kind of just keeping with traditional ones for me because I don't want to twinge my back at all. So we're keeping to easiness. We're doing some easy yoga. There's always discomfort. There's always room for growth. And if you breathe into the discomfort, you're going to grow. And you're going to grow better in your practice. That's be thankful for trees. for standing together in a windbreak, for providing shelter, storing water, and life. That's what that poster says, and I am a tree. This is tree pose. So that should be the cover shot. If it gives the whole poster. I can't tell if the whole poster's in it. But okay. Now I just wanted to say I am feeling very moist. I took a shower before this, and I am drenched in sweat already. Well, I am at that point where I will say thank you for watching. Namaste. Love you all. Okay. Bye-bye. Let my dog in.